What if you could see the unspoken pain people carry every day? Not as tears or a sad face, but as literal cracks in their being. This is the story of Leo, a man who felt invisible in a world that seemed perfectly fine without him. He walked through crowds feeling utterly alone, convinced he was the only one struggling. One morning, a blinding headache struck him. When his vision cleared, the world had changed. The man reading the paper had a faint, glowing crack down his arm. The barista forcing a smile had a web of tiny pulsing lines across her hands. He could see their pain, etched onto them like glowing scars. At first, it was terrifying. He ran home, hiding from the fractured world. Soon, fear turned into a strange kind of power. He started using it as a filter. That woman at the bus stop with a deep crack across her chest, he moved away. The coworker whose legs were covered in lines, he made an excuse to avoid working with him. He thought if he could just avoid the broken people, and came on a Sunday. He was at his sister's house, the one person he always believed had a perfect, unbroken life. She was laughing, telling a story about her promotion, radiating success. But when she turned to grab a glass of water, he saw it. A deep, jagged crack running all the way down her back, glowing with a pain so intense it made him gasp. All the noise in his head went silent. He found his voice, barely a whisper. Are you actually okay?" Her cheerful mask crumbled. For the first time, she looked at him, really looked at him, and tears welled in her eyes. "No," she whispered. "No, I'm not. Thanks for asking." In that moment, everything shifted. He realized the cracks weren't warnings to stay away. They weren't signs of weakness. They were proof of survival. They were a map of every battle a person had fought and won just by still being here. The cracks weren't meant to be avoided. They were an invitation to be gentle, to be kind, to connect. He started small. He bought a coffee for the coworker with the fractured legs. He didn't ask what happened. He just said, "You look like you could use this." He held the door for the woman at the bus stop and gave her a simple, warm smile. He sat with his sister, not offering solutions, but just offering his presence. With every small act of empathy, he could swear he saw the glowing lines on people soften, just a little. He was no longer afraid of the cracks in others, because he finally understood them. One night, before bed, he caught his reflection in the dark mirror, and for the first time, he saw them. Faint, glowing lines on his own body, one over his heart, from a love he had lost, a few on his hands, from all the times he'd failed. He traced the crack over his heart, and for the first time, he didn't feel broken. He felt human. It makes you wonder, if we could see the cracks in each other, would we be more careful with our words, and more generous with our kindness?